everything is safe in that environment.
Today is the 4-month anniversary of not having spoken to a male at work. So there's that.
What?
That's something that you keep track of.
Well, I haven't spoken to a male at work since my boss left, which was 4 months ago.
Huh.
You don't work with any male colleagues? I can't say.
No. My entire team is
Fascinating.
female. All the entire support team is female. Customer success team, all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
At a software company?
Yeah. Only most of the dev team is male,
Okay.
but the tech lead is female, and she's the one I talk to
Oh,
for like
cool.
documentation and stuff like.
There's-
It's an HR
rare
company.
these days.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well,
Ask Brittany how it looks like.
it's interesting
I seem to know what
in a good way. It's
Well, right.
it's
yeah,
very
being a
interesting.
Female in a male-dominated industry. Yeah.
See, I pretty much only talk to females. Like the only male I talk to is the one that you met, Robert, and that is maybe once a month I talk to him. Other than that, yeah, it's all female.
Yeah, it's an HR company, so I kind of expected it to be a lot of ladies because
Yeah.
they're nicer than men are. But yeah.
We had 2 lady developers on our team,
Wow,
like half.
that's actually pretty good.
Before Securian,
One
I
month.
think I had worked with 2 female developers, and Brittany was one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. One of them was at Internet Broadcasting. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, Securian's riddled with them.
Yeah.
Say it like it's a disease.
Like a swirl,
No.
like it's streaming.
We are streaming, yes.
Oh no.
Hi, Crystal.
It's all right. She's not watching. She's picking up her parents from the airport. Anyway, it's been a while. Welcome back, everybody. You say so.
Thanks.
It's been a long time.
We're playing 3.5, right?
We are playing 3.5. Yes.
Playing D&D 1.
No,
D&D
no.
5.5.
AFA 3.5.
I will say. So one of the things while I was reading through the 5.5 or 1, whatever rules, one of the languages that your character can know is sign language. And I was like, they ripped me off. Like, that was my thing, because Carrie knows sign language, and he taught you a little bit of sign language.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened last time?
Council went nuts.
Council went nuts.
Council does
Yeah.
council things.
I pushed the boundaries too much. I totally forgot that the DC got higher every time I made a check. I didn't stop at 3, so he kind of went nuts. I think it was like the 4th one or 5th one.
Something like that.
And then we fought on the ship and around the ship, and the ship went in circles, and I chased the ship, and the cannon shot, and all some magic. It was great. It was a good time.
It was.
Epic fight. It's just epic fight.
It
good.
was on, like, so I went back and listened to the episode yesterday, I think, 2 days ago. It was pretty fun. Like, the points when, like, Council would rip somebody off the ship, I was just like, oh man, he's gonna get him! And then there was inevitably some way that they got back on. Like,
Yeah.
you used, like, Misty Step, I think, to get back on the ship. Wander just reached out and grabbed back onto the cannon, basically, and then turned into a spider to push to the side.
So close.
Man,
I will
one of
say,
these times, I'm waiting for Council to kill somebody.
Pulled all the utility classes off.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, if this group wasn't this group, you would all just be dead. Like
Right.
Council
Like a
is
sorcerer.
ridiculously overpowered in his bestial form.
Yeah.
It's great, and he's just a barbarian fighter. Like the stuff.
true.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing inherently special about Council's build. He's just a leveled up character. Beefy character.
We finally, eventually took Council down.
Yes. Eventually.
Wait.
And 2 interesting things happened. One, he remembers everything from what happened, and the entirety of the journal was revealed to him. Not the entirety, the page that he was reading. Was
yes. So yeah, he
revealed.
remembered the portions
Right.
of what. Yeah.
Can you share what that said again?
I guess I can pull it up. Hold on. I have to go to the right folder.
Because I didn't take notes last time, but I'm doing it now.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. What he remembered. So I think that before you turned into the monster, you got all is a lie, or like all is a.
Yeah.
And then the part that you remembered as you were blacking out was the next two lines was she betrayed us, they all betrayed us.
That's what I had.
Got it. Thank you. The second interesting thing that happened was Council was banished by Revan during the fight. And he also remembers. So we'll go. Yeah. Interesting things happened during that.
Yeah.
Some secret chatting happening there, huh?
My notes just have fought council again. And then a bunch of numbers
Again.
crossed out.
What's the title of the session?
The title of this session, session 32, is Through Night and Gale.
Ah,
Through
little wordplay. I like it.
And Gale?
And Gale. Everything is intentional.
Session 32, you said?
Session 32. Council has just collapsed into the sand. You guys are on the boat. Well, you were traveling away from Council because he was chasing after you, and Revan was taking pot shots at him with his Eldritch Blast. Kind of turn that down a little bit. And yeah, you are left at that point. Yeah, what's going on here?
Revan was at the helm, if I remember right.
You were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Is that turning down the volume at all?
Is my aware of council going down?
Yes. Yeah. You all saw Council collapse.
And I immediately slow the ship down and turn around and head back to council.
Perfect. Flippy Yui, go collect the body of your friend and
No,
companion.
we're just gonna run him over.
Make sure he's dead.
Just
Go
a
back,
yeah.
and then forward.
just a meat crayon.
Transform back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. By the time you reach his body, he has transformed back into his
Oh
body.
no!
What?
Curious what Council's face looks like now.
Tizal looks at his face.
Tizal looks at Council's face.
Turn to stone.
There is no difference to
Oh.
Council whatsoever. However, Tizal, your left eye is missing.
Oh!
From Council's original attack against you, he gouged out your eye.
He took it out?
He popped your eye.
Like a break.
Yeah.
Is it on the floor of the ship?
Can I find it?
You could find what the gore viscera that was your eye. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Are you kidding?
You're a pirate now.
Tizal loves the fact that he gets to wear an eye patch.
I'm sorry. Council's not sorry.
Pretty sick.
Revan reaches in his coat and just throws you with an eye patch.
You didn't need
Revan just has one.
with a little ER.
Revan, when you toss him the eye patch to cover up his eye, you notice that deep inside his skull, you can see almost like an orange ember that's glowing inside of Tizal,
Inside my head?
inside of your head.
Almost like an alchemite glow. Does it remind me of that?
No, it's much dimmer. Alchemite it's pretty bright for what it is.
Okay.
This is more like if you had like a match inside of a skull, like
interesting.
not very dim match, maybe like the embers of a match.
Like the glow on the Council skin when he transforms?
Not exactly like that, because again, with Council, it's all over. This
Yeah.
is it's just the one spot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't see it on any of the rest of his skin.
Interesting.
It's just that one area.
And he doesn't notice. He doesn't know. He can't see that, right?
Right. Yeah. The only thing that you notice is that your depth perception is off.
Can I jump in with something? So as Revan notices that, he mentions that to you. Tizal, inside your head, beyond your eye, there's a glow.
Is that a compliment in common I am not aware of?
It's like a fire burning in your head.
I don't feel
He like kind of
I don't feel hot.
goes and looks. Like I examine it a little closer.
Yeah, he leans into it, lets you look.
Well, so when you get closer to him, it's a bloody, gory mess from where he was attacked, but you can just see like behind the meat, there is some kind of like a warm glow to it. It's like a dark orange glow.
Interesting.
Does he feel it? Do I feel different?
Other than things that you know of, no.
He shares that with his observation. What Spencer just said with you.
It hurts. I can tell you that. Can't see very well.
Do all around have that?
I've never seen inside these skulls.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. I do not know.
In excuse me, in our own culture, is having one eye with an eye patch as sexy as it is for other races? This is what I've heard with the. Just curious.
Legitimate question.
Do I have to make a saving throw or?
I think he's trying to seduce you. Maybe a charisma saving throw? I don't know.
I don't know. I think I will look cooler. That's for sure. I think that's worth me missing punches because I can't see as well. So I think we're all agreed.
Oh my gosh.
Felix walks by and is a little taken aback by your injury. He pulls out a pair of calipers and gets up close to your face and. All right, you might be able to do something.
Ooh.
I see what you make for the others. That sounds good. Ow, though. Ow.
Yeah.
It's strange. It doesn't hurt as much as you would think it does.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, you were severely beat up. You have other scarring on your body from this fight. That is just one of a number of scars. Any of the nerves that were damaged, essentially cauterized.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And as he was looking at your eye socket, you probably noticed the fire as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Other than that, you notice Council's mask on the ship, and you collect Council.
Our strategy has failed once again. We need to find a way to keep reading the journal without us getting this close to dying.
Maybe just one word a day.
Do you feel any different?
Am I ever
Is
awake?
he awake?
No, he is still unconscious.
Oh,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
unconscious. Sorry.
He's like, how do you feel?
How,
Is he stabilized?
how
Is
much?
he stabilized? Do we know?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
stable.
Do we know how much he read?
Last thing he said was all is are.
A few words. Several
You
words.
know the words. Do you know how far he got? If he said all is A before transforming?
So I wrote it out of. I wrote down all his lies she betrayed us, thou betrayed us. Did I catch all of that when I was?
Sorry, did you catch it when you were reading it
Yeah.
initially? Yeah, you had no.
This is
because
the-
this
yeah.
is the
This
other
is the-
language that you don't understand.
Oh. No. Sorry, my accent. Honorable. No, I don't remember any besides what he said out loud.
We should let him rest and question him anyways. Let's get him back on the ship. An arm.
Okay.
I'll get the ship headed back in the direction we're going.
Okay.
We run away south.
South and east a little. I believe,
Yeah.
right?
So if you
To go
look
under the
at
mountains.
Oh, yeah, the
this
green line.
map,
We're going to the
Yeah.
Taurus.
so this orange dot is where you fought Council.
Oh yeah.
So you're kind of coming down along the mountains there on the east side.
Cool.
And to collect some ends to help us in our journey.
Hopefully they'll
Hey,
decide we're not orcs.
the the dark green dot is basically where you would get to before the end of the day. So this is in the evening, late afternoon part of the day. But yeah, as you're traveling, nothing really else happens unless you guys want to have some kind of conversation before council gets up.
Out of character, can I? Or maybe we can do it in character. Because I'll bird brain.
Where remind me where we're going.
We're headed south to the forest near the coast. To get around the mountains. And then back
Back to Oren.
to Oren.
And Jürgen back to Oren. Jürgen and Sledge. Are we bringing them back?
I believe so.
Yeah.
They may be a bit along for the ride as well.
Not sure where else they would end up.
Their fates are in our hands.
It feels like it's been months since we spoke.
Two months, it seems.
Fight took a lot out of us. Yeah.
Far too
Slept
long.
terribly last night.
All right. Council wakes up eventually.
Okay.
From his injuries.
He checks his face.
Okay. In doing so, he doesn't find anything different than what he had before he passed out. No changes to him.
How does he feel?
Very, very beat down.
Okay.
I mean, he feels like he's at 1 HP, basically.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
I eat Revan.
He reads the journal.
Jurgen is just kind of because your body is downstairs in the
Right.
hold, and Jurgen is the only other one down there.
Council sits up and gets his bearings, checks his body, his face, typical biological inventory, I suppose.
Sure.
Then goes to find the group.
Other than the typical beating up that you get each time this happens, there's no additional like permanent scarring
No.
that seems to have taken hold
That's new.
on your form.
Good.
Council goes to the top deck.
All right. Going up top side, you see everybody standing up there doing whatever you guys are doing.
Tizzle's on one of the sails, noticing his depth perception is now different. He's like, he doesn't want to fly yet, but he wants to experience being in the air going fast and try to like get his bearings. 'cause
Doing
he's
that
not
bird
lost.
thing where you're just kind of
Yeah.
like putting the wings out a
Like
little
I'm being
bit.
nursed back to health.
Yeah.
Like I said,
All right.
I have returned. I apologize for my hubris.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Unpleasant, but alive. Same as normal.
Serious injuries at all?
Surprisingly, no. I am unchanged, which is odd.
Do you have your mask on?
He puts it back on.
When you go to put your mask back on, it feels like a pair of glasses that are loose, and it keeps like sliding down your face.
Oh, what?
It's like you can like push it up and it'll stay there for a while, but eventually it just kind of like
Wait, how did it
slowly.
How is it fastened to
slips
your
off.
face anyway?
It was attached to a balaclava thing, but it was also
Balaclava
it was also
or-
magical.
Yeah, it's like magically attuned to him.
Oh.
So now does,
Now it's slipping.
Oh.
he have to snort every time he talks and he pushes it? Hey guys, yeah, push my mask up, guys.
Yeah, as long as you have the strap fastened, it would sit there just fine.
Right.
But the attunement is not as strong as it once was.
Okay. He mentions that like my mask feels different. Strangely. He adjusts the strap and puts it on normally, but
How does it feel different?
like it's lost some of its power.
Or perhaps your head is shrinking.
I cannot rule out that outcome, despite it being unlikely. Thank you, Wonder.
Is it common for your kind to all have magically attuned masks?
For the councils, yes. Not for all. Why?
Well, I was just wondering the origins of your mask there.
The purpose is to remove the person from the role and to make it more of a sounding board for conversation. It's easier for people to open up if it's feels like they're not being judged. It works rather well.
So it presents you as the office rather than the individual in the interaction.
Correct. Councils give up who they are when they take up the mantle. And a more important note, I believe we should continue investigating the journal, but at a much more tempered pace. I believe we discussed it beforehand, and I forgot what it was like. It seems to come out of nowhere, the change. It's not a welling feeling anymore. It's a one moment you're fine, and the next, I'm gone. So, in order to not tempt fate, it may be wise to go 1 or 2 words a day.
Seems prudent. We also are to blame to letting you go too far.
Wise responsibility.
Perhaps a bit more of the blame on him than on us. I see what you're saying.
Don't recall what you actually remember, but do you have an idea of how much you read?
2 things. I remember how much I read, and I remember what information appeared in my mind afterward. I read all is A, but somehow during the chaos, I remembered parts of the journal. And the full words on that page are, all is a lie. She betrayed us. They all betrayed us. I had read that before.
As you're saying those words, give me an insight check.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Felix almost like
Strength.
punches him before he's finished his that sentence.
All is like, don't you dare!
Like, I told you not to remember. Don't.
Blunt force trauma those words out of your head.
I'm going to flash of genius that. Or no, it's still the same day.
It's still the same day.
16.
16. You feel like as you are saying those words, you feel it. It's not enough to overcome you, but
Okay.
you do feel that like swelling.
Okay. Council.
Spartan kicked him off the boat.
Council kind of stands like he has heartburn for a second. He's just like,
Please don't recall the words.
well, he said them out loud.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So like
Yeah, he got them all out.
that is all, thankfully. It's a distinct flavor of rage that is foreign to me whenever I think of these words. I'm curious. Much of what we have done during our adventures have pertained to the gods and the events of civilizations past. I'm curious if the mention of they would be the gods themselves. They all betrayed us. And she may very well be the Elm goddess, as would align with the vision that Felix had with her shooting Dalen with that weapon. I don't know what that could mean. Perhaps they had some plan against this enemy, especially if it's similar to what Tizol saw when he was flying over that region. Why she would betray everyone is beyond me, but
And why are we being gifted magically imbued items potentially from the gods themselves?
regret is a powerful emotion. Or resent.
They're not from the gods themselves, though. Right?
Made by them. And he found the compass on his person. We don't know where it came
We don't know if the
No
gods
idea
are
where
the
this
ones
came from.
who gave it to them, though.
We're obviously being directed as to why. We don't have enough information, but at least we have a direction for now. Something else happened that was strange and rather pleasant. I don't know. I remember specifically, Revan, you touched me, and I went somewhere different.
Aye, to another dimension. Another plane of existence.
Is that what it was? It was wholly enjoyable. I felt weightless and detached from everything. My body, emotions, life. It was like I was a part of everything. I felt at peace. And then being clawed back to this reality was wildly unpleasant. I find myself missing it, strangely.
That's funny to hear you say that, because my understanding of how that works is it's a bit of a personal hell for those who are sent to the other plane. And not, they don't return full of joy and longing.
If that is my hell, then I very much look forward to ending things.
Perhaps it was a hell for your other self. And it was intended for them.
Potentially. I wonder if that has something to do with Noon. If that was the collective life of all things before it was stripped away into individualism. Perhaps that other dimension is something a part of that whole.
The origin of light, the chaos, the swirling chaos.
The primordial soup. I don't know. Either way, we have more questions for every answer we receive.
And if you'd like to go back another day, after I rest a bit, we can arrange it. People always seem, they sometimes come back, sometimes not so much.
Interesting. Is Tizzle here?
You flew down.
I apologize for your eye. I expected harm to come to everyone upon transforming, but not permanent damage. So I take responsibility for that.
Does it look good?
It makes you look more experienced.
I see what you did there.
It does make you look more experienced. Perhaps the other Auron will look up to you.
Yes, yes. I accept your apology, but it is not necessary. That was not council that did those things to us.
Council goes to speak, but this is like... I feel like my body has been chewed significantly. I'm going to go rest.
It's a really a description.
He goes downstairs and just goes...
This goes and collapses onto the hard
The 1
metal.
HP sleep, you know. It's like, I'm good.
Yep. Everyone else staying up, doing anything? No.
Also going to sleep.
Till nighttime, and Jurgen takes over. Revan will stay at the helm.
Cool. Yeah. Sledge at any point is ready to take over.
Sledge, not Jurgen. Sorry.
Whatever.
Jurgen blind?
Yeah. You let the blind guy.
Mostly dead guy comes to take over.
Oh, this is a good time. Wee!
Y'all want to go northwest, right?
Why does he talk like that?
He's an old-timey prospect.
Oh.
Days.
Go straight for the mountains. How am I doing? Sledge is like, doing great, buddy. They've got it right for us.
My headcanon for them has improved dramatically.
Yes. Yeah, Sledge is ready to take over whenever you let him. Yeah. So yeah, you let him. Tizal, when you are bedding down for the evening, you also notice the area where you had been stabbed by council during the day. While your feathers cover it up normally, you can feel that there is some scar tissue there, and pulling back your top layer of feathers, you can see your like undercoat is the feathers are like singed and melted, and there is significant scar tissue there, like some amount of burning.
Does it look like a burn victim type of burning?
Yes.
Like it just looks like
Yep.
basically burnt flesh.
Yep. Where he stabbed you and stuff happened. Similar wander down one of your legs, where Council had clawed at you while he was he was falling off the ship. You have parts of your bark that are singed.
Parts of your bark.
Sorry.
Felix.
No, that's totally fine. Like, does he know that I'm talking to him? I haven't gotten
up on
a
that.
second of eye contact.
It was D&D related. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to do this research. I need to write myself a note. Sorry.
I was just saying from when he fell off the boat and he clawed your leg, you have singed marks in your bark, like a permanent, like a wood burning kit, basically.
Oh, okay.
How visible is it? I guess under my feathers.
If you like move your feathers around, no one can see.
He wouldn't really. He would never really pay attention enough to try to hide it. So.
Oh, that's so much better.
In fact, he's not even covering up his eyes.
Okay. Cool.
Peanut butter pretzels.
Thank you.
Yeah. Other than that, then the night comes. You all rest for the evening. Rising the next day, you can see that you still have the mountains to the east of you, and you've got quickly. You can see that the weather is changing. As you guys have been traveling south this whole time, it has been getting cooler the whole way because you're traveling further away from the equator. But at this point, the kind of the cooler air from the ocean and the hotter air from the desert have resulted in more like rain clouds. You see a lot of clouds on the horizon. You're traveling into that's
So
what you
colder,
experience.
like slightly, or are we talking like no?
Not significantly colder. No, just like
It's like heading south in the U.S. kind of a thing.
right. Yeah, this is the difference between you were in like 90 to 100 plus degree weather the entire time you were in the desert, and now you're in like 70s and humid kind of weather.
So going from desert to temperate.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you are traveling into the clouds at this point, or into the cloud cover. The mountains to your east, you can no longer see the peaks of them because the clouds are there. Does anybody have anything that they would like to do before the next set piece?
I've got one thing, so
Sure.
I'll take over the helm from Sledge.
Okay.
But then, assuming Council comes up whenever he does, we'll just quick toss something out to him.
Sure.
So once you do come up on deck,
Banish him.
well, he's gonna ask about this again. So the morning Council. Do you have an urge to return to that other plane before we go on any more adventures here?
As with any extreme, be it substance or experience, it's a danger to get addicted. So while yes, I do want to go back, I shouldn't. Because I may want to come back here. You're kind to offer, but it would be unwise for me to do so.
When you left, did you choose to, or did you simply come back?
I felt like I was being dragged across sandpaper, forcefully ripped from that world to here. It was bad.
Well, should you decide another journey to the other plane makes sense, you know where to find me.
It may be worth experiencing again. Especially if there are answers there. It may differ for other people. You could banish Tizol while he sleeps. That would be
I banished Tizzle.
okay.
Make a Christmas saving throw again.
Yep. Alright. That was it.
Great. Yeah, you continue traveling throughout this day. Not a whole lot happens. You reach the southern tip. I can stop waving my hands around. I can use my mouse.
But the Italian likes it.
You reach the area over here. Gabagook. Roughly like 5 hours into the day, so maybe noonish. Not the fire noon, but the sun being high in the sky. You, oh my goodness, what's going on?
Did you get us banned from Twitch?
Did you guys see that?
No.
It's the Gabagool.
It's the Gabagool. Yeah.
Gabagool did it.
No, what you reach the southern edge of the mountains, and from here, this is the closest to the southern ocean that you can be, basically, while being this close to the mountains.
Cool.
And Revan especially, you note that while it is still miles and miles and miles away, because this continent, the southern edge, is continually sloping down towards the sea, you can see the sun glinting off of the ocean, despite it being so far away. It's not, blinding or anything,
Right.
but you can tell that it's there.
Like being at sea almost, right? Except there's sand in between.
Yeah,
But where you just have nothing blocking your vision.
right,
or- yeah.
exactly.
Can we smell it?
Hmm.
Is there any salt in the air?
Give me a perception check.
Well, it's just a casual. I know
Sure.
sailors smelling the ocean is nice. 18.
18? No, because right now you're traveling through rain.
Oh.
That scent is more powerful than any scent of the ocean that would have reached you.
Still, council is enjoying the heck out of that rain.
Yeah, it's very, very nice, especially from the constant heat and sun that you have been feeling. This moisture it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Wander is spread out in tree form, just every leaf extended, absorbing the moisture, reveling in it.
Great. Those of you who are looking at Wander, you almost feel like you can see new buds sprouting. He's definitely in his element here.
That's cool.
Looking at Wander, does Felix notice the burns?
Make me a perception check.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. Look at that.
Already on the tape.
Yep. I think my perception
Would you
is
go down
garbage.
just
I was like, is that loud
This
to
song
you
got
guys?
really
It's
loud,
super
yeah.
loud to me. Dang it.
Is it coming through your surface?
Yeah.
That's probably why it seems loud to you, because it's designed to project that way.
I think it's coming from this.
It was coming through those, I think, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like
You-
it's
The
getting
volume seems to
You
be
can
controlled
feel
by the
it.
surface. Oh. Okay.
It's probably both.
It's like 10 points from 1%.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
12?
You
Does Wander now noting the scarring on him, does he try to conceal it in any way, or is he just like, it's a thing?
No, it is what it is.
Yeah, you'd probably notice it.
Wanda, when did you get burned?
Remember when our dear friend Council turned into a monster?
Did he do any fire things?
No, not that you can remember.
Wait, someone did a fire thing, didn't they? Tizal did,
Oh, that's right. Wait a minute.
but
so
not
did
Barnabas.
Barnabas did too.
Wanda did as well.
Wanda did as well.
They did fire things. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember if Felix noticed. He
The whole-
probably because he was looking
Oh,
right
okay.
at.
Yeah, you're probably a little
Looking
distracted
as-
by Council.
Council
But
remembers.
Council was nearby when the fire
Council
thing
remembers. Yeah,
Because
council
council
remembers
was the target of the.
Because I imagine Felix was looking at Council when he was attacking Wander.
Right.
So he would have seen the fire coming out of Wander. So maybe, okay.
Possibly, yeah.
This is all also hearing Felix
I'd-
question Wander, he's like,
I don't remember council, the other council, doing any sort of fire things. The other times we fought him, but this time, I did see fire when he attacked you.
Council just.
This is just curious.
remember why, how, but I burst into flames when he first attacked me. It is almost a retribution for being hit.
It seemed like a reflexive defense.
It came from you.
Yes. I feel like I can control what it is, but I don't really understand what it is.
Might be tied to that glow in your eye as well.
Probably this.
he moves his feathers out of the way.
Eyes widen just a little bit behind his goggles.
Inside his helmet.
Inside his helmet.
So you see nothing on it.
We were all approached mentally when we were close to that mountain. All of us said we declined the offer.
I don't know about that. Did everyone say they declined?
Yes.
I was not offered allegiance. I was offered freedom. I will always accept freedom.
I understand. It is your life. I just hope nothing bad comes from it.
Well, it comes to us from it.
Being a warlock and seeing these marks, is there anything that was recognizable to me? Anything that I...
Make me a wisdom check.
That's not going to be good. 5.
No. Everything that you have seen from your patron has been watery. You've never seen anything flamey before.
I have a theory that is based on little to nothing, which seems to be most of what I offer these days. But if we were approached mentally by some collective force close to those mountains, and the enemy of the gods are those rock creatures that Tizzle saw, and my other self is related to some other aspect of that. Essentially what I'm trying to say is the force at those mountains may be a direct enemy of the energy that drives the alternative me. And so when that version struck you, at you, those energies might have conflicted. I don't know.
That's certainly possible.
He's a guess.
You're certainly one for theories, Council.
Better than the rest of us just wandering around clueless, wondering what'll happen next.
Especially those of us teasoling around. He said wandering around.
Banished Tizzle.
Dessert.
Our first goal is to get Jurgen to Orin for treatment.
But
We've stabilized him for now, but that is our ultimate next step.
these visions and these offers, did all of you have a being, a person, offer you something?
Yes.
I did indeed. I will confess it was the journey through the desert was, I think, perhaps far more difficult for me, being a creature that craves soil and moisture, being without for a long time. I was not in my right mind. I was less myself than I recall ever being in any of my other travels. I was offered the opportunity in a crucial moment to be able to defend my people. Feeling the weakness that I did in the moment, I simply didn't know how to turn it down.
Can you recall what this being looks like? Or was it a voice?
To be honest, what I recall was far more emotional than it was anything tactical or visual that I can recall. I don't exactly recall the original vision, but at this point in time, I simply recall what I felt about it, and I felt terror at the destruction of my people.
For me, it was my first mate who spoke with me. One of the closest people in my life.
Likewise.
It was just a voice for me.
For me, it was a voice from amongst the wind as I was flying east towards the city bridge. It only said, in a whisper, freedom. I may have somehow made a pact, not realizing
Well, let's hope the thing that I associate with fire now is noon. Let's hope it's not related to that.
James did say he wanted me to join him in his flock. I don't know if we were all chosen. Some of us were chosen.
I remember him specifically telling me I should be dead.
Maybe not you.
We never traveled that road when I was there. Chose to not have it. Look into my future.
Yeah, I remember.
What a strange mess we found ourselves in.
Aye.
You see something, say something.
Says the one who kept something to themselves.
I rubbed Tizzle's back slowly.
I kept nothing from anyone. They made no back
You, as you round the, again, stop waving my hands around. As you round the bottom of the mountains, you do see that you are coming up to a forest, which is entirely populated with birch trees. So you notice, especially being, this is currently the 11th month of the year, the birch trees have bright yellow leaves and, of course, the bright white bark. And there is bright green foliage underneath because of just the constant rain that this region gets. You have to skirt very closely to the mountains, and you, being the captain that you are, you essentially you view the forest as like coral reef or something that you have to like go around, like a sandbar or something.
Sure.
That you have to avoid, but you also don't want to get too close to the mountains. You don't, because of how you don't know if the ship is going to collide with that, or if you're going to ramp up it or whatever. So you're kind of like skirting down this fairly narrow valley between the edge of the forest and the mountains.
So heading back like northeast, it looks like?
Yeah. So you are making your way around the edge of the mountains. As you're doing that, this is. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Tizzle's being hyper vigilant to make sure nothing is gonna like come at us from the forest.
Okay.
Since big ship is now hugging the mountain between two places where he knows they're Dorn, but he doesn't know what's over here. So
Okay.
he's kind of being more vigilant on this side.
Make me a perception check while you're being hyper vigilant. Also, anyone else who just kind of looking out would like to make a perception check again as well.
It being
Being
daytime.
very observant, being the ship.
He's just watching the trees.
Sure.
It's cocked. It's on my B and my N.
Dirty 20.
16.
Did you say perception?
Yeah, perception.
23.
Okay.
9.
So 9, dirty 20,
16.
16. You, Felix, notice first from quite a distance as you are making your way through this valley between the forest on your right hand and the mountains on your left, that at some point in the distance you can see that the trees are actually moving. You can see that there's appears to be something large that it's making its way through the trees and causing them to like be rustled out of the way.
Oh.
We've got something coming towards us.
Do you point?
Yes.
Okay. Now then, the rest of you who are looking over there, you also see, and it's getting closer to the path that you are traveling down, or this valley that you're traveling down. You're still probably, 500 feet or more away from where this thing would intersect with the road, or with not the road, but the valley.
And it looks like it's trying to head us off, like it has spotted us. Can we tell by the path it's taking?
No. So what all you can see right now is that there are trees that are being rustled as something makes its way through.
From what Council remembers of the path the behemoth took, was it, when we left the mines, was it going right in the evening and left in the day?
It was going south. for
Yeah,
the day.
during the day it was traveling south.
Okay.
And
the south.
yeah, it hunts in the south and it goes back up north.
Okay.
In the evening.
But we're very far.
Yes, you are very far from there.
Right.
Multiple days travel back
Okay.
to or
Okay.
from here.
It may be a behemoth, it may be something else. I don't know. Should we stop to see if it continues, or do we keep going and take a risk?
It's how far off is it?
Maybe, I mean, now that you've been talking for a little bit, a couple hundred feet.
A couple hundred feet. So that at this point,
It's going to see us regardless.
right? Yeah,
So
Revan
carry our
uses the
momentum.
full speed ahead action.
Okay.
Try and get the ship to go as fast as possible.
Okay. You are using full speed ahead. As you get the ship up to full speed, you reach this point where the tree line, or where this, whatever is causing the trees to rustle, and the ship cross paths. As you do that, you see a birch tree step out into the pathway, and then you plow it over. Just with a loud, just yeah. Yes. Everybody, make me dexterity saving throws.
What?
See if you can hold on to the ship.
behemoth.
It was Wander's cousin.
A dex save?
Yeah, dex save.
Oh.
22.
Dirty 20.
You're supposed to look both ways.
15.
Look both ways before you cross the
22.
tree.
15, what did you get?
22.
22.
Revan's used to being in an ocean.
That's not
11.
11. All right. So you use this action. Tree steps out. You run over it. Everybody else, you see this, and you immediately grab onto the railings around the edge of the ship, and you're able to hold on. Revan, when you do it, you completely lose hold of the wheel,
Oh, no.
and you fall to the ground. And you're like tumbling backwards now, basically towards the edge. And you guys, you see the ship is now veering into the forest,
Oh no.
and
Grab
is
the wheel.
quickly like,
the
Can
wheel.
I
Mass
misty,
murder!
misty
Grab
step
the
to
wheel.
the wheel?
sure, yeah, you
Take out
guys
all
make,
the trees.
We're both going to the wheel as fast as we can.
just make me a initiative roll to see who goes faster.
19.
19, 15. Yeah, so you misty step up to the wheel, and just as you get it to grab hold of it and pull it back to the left so you don't go into the forest, you also reach the wheel and hold it in place.
I rushed the brake.
Okay. Cool.
Forgot
Yeah,
about that.
you rush the whatever they're called, mechanisms, and basically you drop the ship, just to like an immediate halt where it grounds into the ground.
Okay. Stop.
Yeah, because if you remember how the ship works, it's not actually a brake for the ship. What it is it stops the sails from being pivoted up and down. So when you release it, the sails go flat, so that then basically you have no more forward momentum, and you just dig straight into the ground. Everybody else make me more dexterity saving throws. You can make yours with disadvantage, Revan, since you're rolling on the ground.
Okay.
17.
Dirty
Is
20.
this-
15.
15.
Hey, you guys are rocking it.
I've rolled the dice 3 times and split a 12 each time.
Oh no. 7.
7.
Is he on the ground already?
Oh, you said disadvantage. I didn't
Yeah,
roll
at disadvantage. He was
See if I can
rolling
get a
on,
one.
the deck.
Oh, I thought he was off the ship.
No,
I thought he was back by
now
the tree.
he is off the ship though.
I rolled a 2 there. So.
Was this birch tree similar size to Wander?
You don't know. From what you saw, it was just a flash before you were going over it.
Okay.
As soon as Wonder Candy gets off the ship.
Okay. Yeah, the ship is ground to a halt now. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from falling off of the edge of the ship.
Council goes with Wonder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you all immediately get off the ship and you hear Jurgen back from down inside the ship going, "Wait, what's going on?"
Felix is gonna stay on the ship
Okay.
and just watch.
Okay. Just watching from a distance up on the deck.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Sledge also just kind of stayed. He was down with Jurgen, and you see him emerge, coming up the stairs, just kind of looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. You guys who have left the ship, you see there is a birch tree. It just looks like a large birch tree that has been plowed over by the ship, and it's laying in the path, and you can see that now, like up the back side of the exposed side of it, there's a bunch of bark that's been like knocked off of it. There's a bunch of leaves that are on the ground. There's like a branch or two that have been knocked off.
No.
And it's just kind of like splayed out on the ground.
Wonder sprints towards the being and casts Cure Wounds.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you run up to it and cast Cure Wounds on it. And immediately you feel the life energy of this thing. It's alive. This is some kind of torn, like you. But it is, from what you can see, it is face down, and it's not like speaking or anything.
Yeah.
Wrong match.
That's 12 that I rolled.
Okay, cool.
I start talking. Brother, can you hear me? Are you okay?
And are you speaking in Torn, or are you speaking in?
By
Common?
default, I speak in common.
Okay. It doesn't respond.
Wonder shakes his head and asks the same question again. Torn.
Okay. When you ask in Torn, and you guys hear Wander probably speak this for the first time. You've never heard him speak this language.
Wood?
Right. It's very weird, like kind of gravelly-ish, very earthen. Hard to describe what that sounds like. But when you speak to it in that, immediately it rolls over in the dirt, and you see now, because birch trees, they have, like the really bright white bark, but then they've also got these like really dark, like black knots, and this has multiple knots all over it, just like any other birch tree does. But as it rolls over, a number of them start like blinking up at you, more than 2. And it looks up at you, and it speaks back, and it says, "What was that?" In the same gravelly pitch to you.
It was actually it's a new contraption to me. It's some boat that goes on land. There's no way you could have seen us coming. I apologize. You were approaching us from the forest. We didn't know what to expect, and we were going faster than we should have.
It just kind of still blinking up at you, and you can see it's like trying to focus its eyes on you, And when it does, it just says, "Can I sit up?"
Yes, it should be much safer now.
Kind of like help it sit up, and you, anyone who's nearby, and you from a distance, you see this like birch tree like bend in half in like a 90 degrees. So the bottom half of it is still on the ground, but the top half of it is now sitting up, and you can see being right up next to it. This is much larger than you. It is like 20 feet tall.
Whoa. Like a birch tree.
Yeah, like this is a full grown like birch tree.
Have I seen any floral torn like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have.
when you were back in the grove, they came in all shapes and sizes, anywhere from little saplings to full grown.
Because of the shape of birch trees, so it's just the trunk and the
Yeah.
the thing at the top. I just imagine him kind of looking like the ant version of Sideshow Bob. Just kind of like a big thing.
It kind of is, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's like Sideshow Bob, but he's like a stick bug a little bit. And when it sits up, you can actually see that it's got 3 branches that are not like below the top that it uses as its arms that just kind of like stick out straight at the elbow or like at the shoulders to the elbows, and then it kind of moves around from there. But it has 3 of them. It's got 2 on the right side, 1 on the left. And it kind of uses all of them independently to sit itself back up to a sitting position.
First of all, allow me to apologize. That was not our intent. Do you feel like you're okay? I can attempt to cure you again if you're not feeling yourself yet.
What's okay?
Do you feel well?
It kind of like looks over itself. Yeah.
All right.
I think I do.
Tizal leans over to Council and goes, "Do you understand any of what they are saying?"
Council's just staring. he's like, Conco collect mode.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wander Maple. I've been gone from the Grove for several years, exploring the world.
One of its arms kind of like reaches over and like puts it on your like what would be your shoulder, basically like alongside your trunk, and he says, "I've never met a maple before."
Oh no.
Where's Spicy Bunch?
What are you?
I am what you are.
I'm a bird.
Oh no, it's an idiot.
Forrest Gump looking ass.
And it's from you don't like don't have to roll insight or anything. It's just genuinely perplexed by what you mean by like I am you.
We speak the same language.
Is there other language?
In common, he says, of course, there's a bunch of different languages.
And he just like blew his brain.
He looks back and he sees Tizal like
Because that's the first thing you guys understand this conversation. And he says, what are they?
These are my traveling companions. We have gathered together out of common need and are traveling together. Where are you bound for?
I wasn't certain. Just making my way to the mountains to see what I can see.
Where did you start, do you recall?
Right there. He motions kind of back behind him to where the forest is.
Did you just awaken?
Just no. I've been awake for some time. About kind of like squints and like looks off into the ether. fifth of my life.
Are they, setting question, are there seasons? Like, would a year be easily... Okay.
Yeah.
How many summers have you been awake for, if you remember?
10.
And have you run into anyone else like you or I in that time?
This is the first thing I've seen. Other than Birch.
Huh.
After a little while of them talking, I see from the distance, Felix starts looking out into the forest and also the mountains, just kind of making sure there's nothing else.
Okay.
Just kind of watch the other
Sure.
things.
Yeah, make me a perception check.
Wander, are we safe?
12. Oh, my apologies.
Don't notice much of anything.
I believe so.
He seems fine.
Fine is a very strong word. He's very young, and I don't believe he's interacted with other sentient beings before.
Interesting.
So
The entire time, like, you see, because he's got like 5 or 6 different eyes, and they're all just kind of, they're like looking back and forth at you and like darting around, just like,
Tizzle hates this.
one eye just stays trained on you, and all the others are like, yeah.
Is he from where you're from?
Well, yes and no, because all of the ones that I know of are from the northern part of the island. How on earth he ended up here on the southern tip of the island is... I have no idea. And then Wander starts to look up and he goes, I wonder how often this occurs. Would they die on their own? We should have a delegation. At any rate,
The energy that awakens your kind seems prevalent everywhere, and not just in one spot. Which means there may be other continents with torn on them as well.
interesting. He said he's been awake for about 10 years.
What are you saying?
My apologies, friend. They were asking some questions about who and what you are.
Councils.
Tell them I'm Wandering Birch.
Wandering is my name.
But it's what I was doing.
Well, you were clearly more running than wandering. Wandering is a leisurely pace. You were going quite quickly. Perhaps sprinting Birch.
Sprinting Birch. And again, just kind of like looks off into the ether while you guys.
I turn it in common and say, it's very confusing. He's trying to steal my name. I'll get this worked out.
Since this is such a rare occasion, do we have any objections to letting Wander spend time with his friend for the day? And we can pick up again tomorrow.
Tizzle won't respond. He's just like,
What is it now? It's like noon?
No, this is like 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, right. So we don't have a lot of time.
You're going to be fine if we give up the time.
True. Perhaps a couple of hours?
we could put him on the ship and take him with us.
But he's huge.
I don't think we should take a tree out of its forest.
And he doesn't seem...
Points of Wander.
That'll be fine.
And you've had such a wonderful time so far.
Point made.
I don't know if we need another ward in our protection at this time, especially one as tall as him.
Right.
You're calling me a ward?
No.
It is easy.
But the two on the ship, and now this one.
Let's...
It is easy to say when you see human daily. This is the first time he's ever been in contact. So we either stay or he comes with us if we need to leave.
Let's spend an hour. They can connect and talk, and then we can leave. Fair? I'll go tell Felix.
He's still horrified.
Okay. I'm gonna go tell Felix what's happening.
As soon as he starts to leave, where's he going?
He's going back to the ship. We're going to stay here for just a moment. The large thing that ran you over.
That hit me.
Yeah.
Ship. Okay.
Have you had anyone else to talk to?
No. I've only spoken to the trees here.
I missed that. What made you decide to sprint, not wander, out of the woods today?
I've been making my way towards the mountains for some time. Just because I wanted to see what else is out there. All I've seen is birch.
That wander as it puts a big smile on his face. Attempts to, goes to put his hand on his shoulder and then stops and puts his hand on, where his love handle might be. It's like, let me assure you, my brother, there is so much to be seen.
Brother.
Council comes
Like
back to the
what?
conversation.
What is there?
There are oceans. Well, did you see the ocean at the edge of the forest?
Yeah, big water. Yep.
The water goes and goes and goes, and then there's different land on the other side of the water. There are places on the land that is just dirt and no plants. There are places on the land where the rocks go up the mountains, as you were talking about.
Yep.
There are places where you see the fleshy ones over there that look weird with no bark.
Looks over. Yep.
There are places where there is thick as forests.
Are they called a forest?
No, that we call a town.
Are you a forest? Oh my god.
My energy!
Sorry.
I pooed a little, Jesus.
Is your ship a forest?
Not exactly.
Not a sentence I thought I'd hear anytime soon.
It's made of.
What?
It's made of a forest.
Made of metal.
This
Made of
one.
metal.
Oh, that's right. It's made of metal.
What are you called?
It depends on who you ask. Some people call us nice names, some people do not. Do we have a party name yet?
No.
That was last
That
time.
was-
last campaign.
Wonder, sorry to interrupt your conversation.
Not at all.
Can we ask him a question?
Yeah, ask away. I will say he's pretty young.
Is he able to speak to trees? These trees?
Of course, I don't need to ask him that.
Does he know how old the oldest tree is?
And Wander thinks back to his own memory of talking to trees. And Wander growing up being fascinated with history, passing on of knowledge. What's the oldest tree that Wander remembers?
Hundreds of years old.
I would say my own memory is hundreds of years old. Let me ask Sprint. Then he switches to Torn. As you've been talking with the trees, what is your memory of the oldest tree that you've talked to?
Birch only live maybe 100 years before we fall.
Turns around and reiterates. Yeah, birch are short-lived species. I've met oak that are a few hundred years old.
Might not be worth asking about the previous fall of civilization, but it could be worth a try.
I think as if you're looking for historical knowledge for Floral Torn, I'm going to be a better resource than this bozo.
He accidentally said that.
And for the first time, Council witnesses ego and wonder. He's like, oh.
He turns to Sprint and says, well, my friend Sprint, would you have any interest in perhaps joining our party for a little bit and seeing some of the world?
Where are you going?
Right now we're going to a forest of a few hundred people. A few hundred of the fleshies. I can't guarantee perfect safety, as you saw today, and he pivots his leg and shows him. This is not a life that is free of risk.
Will I be diseased like you?
Oh.
Hunter turns a little bit green. Hopefully not. Hopefully you will be dealt a better hand.
We didn't hear anything. We didn't hear
It's all not torn.
Where did you come from?
I came from the northern part of the island. If you were to go to the big water, and then where the sun comes up, keep that sun coming up on your right shoulder and walk north as far as you could, you would eventually get to my forest. It would take possibly several weeks to get there.
Are there more maple there?
There are maple, there are birch, there are oak, there are aspen, so many.
Perhaps I'm not Sprint, but I'm lost.
Lost birch.
Could you take me there?
I can tell you that where we're going is part of the way there, so we can certainly hitch you a ride part of the way, and if you wanted to keep going there, you'd be more than free to.
All right.
How are you feeling? Do you feel okay?
He stands up to his full height now, kind of gets up off the ground. Looks at himself, just kind of looks himself over. Ready to wander.
All right. Has everyone gone back to the ship by now?
No, it's just
Yeah,
staring at this conversation.
Rowan's back on the ship.
So I turn around and say, hold on, I'm going to speak to my friends in a language that they understand and introduce you.
Okay.
Okay? This is a relatively young floral torn. He's a birch. We're going back and forth on his name. He's currently leaning towards lost birch. He found himself here, and this is not where the floral torn awakened. I don't know how he ended up here.
Hey, on.
Can we take a break?
It is a
It
map.
does look like a map, doesn't it?
Yeah. You want hugs?
Hey, have a night, buddy. Right.
So we could take a break if we need to.
Sure.
My Rick.
Yeah, if people need to go to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
sure. Take a quick break.
I can go make dinner.
Say
Oh,
goodnight to
yeah.
people.
Canonically, though, that is what Lost's voice is going to be, since it's a relatively young birch.
Yeah.
Jack, will you check Discord real quick? I gotta show your address. I didn't find it in our chat history.
Is he coming to play?
887
we only have one car,
Croy.
and
Oh.
Kaya had
Yeah,
something.
I thought it was pinned.
I didn't see it in the pins. Barnabas's address is there. Alex's address is there.
Is it my old one?
Mallard Drive.
Oh,
But
no. Tree 7 Parkway. I go to go make some
No, it's there. Thank you, sir.
So Wander's diseased, and we don't know how. What a
Or
mystery.
that he is.
Disease?
We don't even know that he is.
Well, I assumed he was referring to the scars.
That's quite the
Oh.
assumption.
I thought
Oh,
he meant.
yeah.
You might see something that we don't know.
Yeah, I thought he meant like a foliage disease, like
Well,
a tree.
The pact you made. Or something.
Yeah.
I need to go to the bathroom.
I had told Michelle 9:30. Is that a good time? Do you think?
I
Is
think
that
we'll be
too,
done by then. Yeah.
too early, too late.
She can go meet you now. We'll keep fine.
Just keep going once you're done.
Are you getting picked up?
Yeah, we only have one car. We've only had one through almost all of the pandemic.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
we went down to a single car.
We went down to one. Well, although my sister has a car that we use sometimes.
Yeah.
But a little bit of a crunch right now. But
Right, like once a month, there's an opportunity where it'd be like, oh, I wish we had two
yeah,
cars.
like
But
once a month it'd be super convenient, but is that really worth it for?
right,
Yeah, and selling a car now is like
yeah, we made so much money.
we made money
Yeah.
basically on ours.
And my parents usually are around. They happen to have gone up for an extended stay at the cabin, so they're not in town right now. Or they would have just picked Kai up from swim team after practice.
Sure. Yeah.
But Michelle needed the car to pick her up, and so she messaged like two different friends to see if she could get a ride home, and neither of them were going to practice. And it's like kids never. It's high school, so they almost never miss practice.
Yeah,
'cause you
they're
can.
always. Yeah.
And it just happens to be like it didn't work out tonight. It's like, oh gosh.
Well, like worst comes to worst, like Uber is always a thing that's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you save $400 a month on not having a car between car payments, insurance, gas,
And then
and
just getting
upkeep,
that money back.
and then once a month it's like, oh, I spent $40 on an Uber. I'm still coming out
Right,
ahead on
right.
this deal.
Yeah, between insurance and payment, we were about $600 a month. And
Yeah.
And no, like garage space.
Yeah, honestly, we don't really utilize it, but yeah, makes it easier to park one car.
Park it sideways. You can Tokyo drift
You have
into
like a
the driveway.
3-stall garage, though, don't
Yeah.
you? They park the car diagonally.
Mhm.
Like a
They
sports
open
car at the
open
mall.
all the doors, let it air out at night.
Yeah, this is one of those rare things where it's just like, yeah, poop, gotta figure that out. Michelle's like, I'll just pick you up. I was like, but doesn't that suck? For me, I don't ever mind driving. I don't
It's like
care.
an hour and a half round trip.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
She was just like, whatever, I'll come to you. I was like, sweet, thank you. Ooh, Jack, can I get some water?
Tell them no.
Tell him no. Just say no. Just see
No.
what happens.
Dehydrate.
Trying to find out if Crystal has watched any, so she can tell me if like volume needs to go up or if it needs to like go down. Like, do we sound like crap? Can people hear us at all? Cause I don't know.
Did you hit start streaming? Because that would help.
I did. I made sure to do that. That's the one thing I made sure to do.
That's all I can help with.
Right. Outside of that, I don't know what else to do. I don't set things up.
How far? You were very close to this house, right? You're like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, I think that now that the lake